10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All systems go.
You're listening to Sudbury News Talk.
I want to show you something.
Stand by.
On the morning shift.
Anything
Could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm AJ Walsh. Glad to be here with you. Thankful that you're here with us on this Thursday, January the 29th, 2026. It's going to be a cold one. It is a cold one already. If you've been outside, you already know that. And we are already getting ready for a very cold day. Frostbite warning. We'll have all the weather coming up in a few moments. Just getting my camera situated as something happened with the device that basically holds the camera this morning. So, hey, there's always got to be something. So every morning it keeps me on my toes, not only getting ready for the show with all the troubleshooting needs to be done, but then the show itself, having to get everything working, having to control everything on the fly as we have this conversation on your station, which is CKLU 96.7 FM on the radio. It's also cklu.ca on the online. You can stream us by clicking the Radio Player Canada app or other apps you can find CKLU online. On the website, you can get it through the Radio Player Canada app, or like I said, other apps. We're also streaming live on Facebook.com everywhere in the world, except for Sudbury and Canada. We're also streaming live at YouTube.com/Sudbury News everywhere in the world, including Sudbury and Canada. We'll be found on demand on those two platforms. Also, x.com/Sudbury News and Sudbury.news, which is our news aggregator. It brings in all the local news into one website. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, especially to the YouTube, because that's where we're mainly going to be viewed here in Greater Sudbury and in Canada. And comment. We'll do our best to get your comments up on the screen for those watching, read for those listening. It is a truncated show today due to the technical issues that we were dealing with. It could be a comedy show. The bloopers before we get the show started. Honestly, if there was a camera on me as I was getting the show ready each morning, it would be the most hilarious thing. With, you think it's just the things that go wrong are hilarious. It's almost like somebody's doing it on purpose, kind of thing. But mostly not. And it's just the way life goes. And you just, either you cry or you laugh. So you just laugh and you move on. And speaking of moving on, we're going to be talking about the Python. Was it the Python 5000? Something along those lines, from Greater City of Sudbury there to fill our potholes. Well, apparently it's not doing as good as the hype was originally for it. We'll have more on that and more on Megan McCabe, who's found herself basically commenting on Jamie West's, who's the MPP for Greater Sudbury, on his Facebook page. And she was commenting on him promoting the flu and the COVID-19 vaccination to get it this year. And what's his last name again? Jamie West. There we go. I want to get his Facebook page up here so we can show that while we are, while she's talking about it, just so we can see what she's referring to, right? So hopefully it's going to be here. And I believe that it is. So anyways, we're going to get into some weather, and then that way we'll get into some weather, and then we'll be back with these two stories mainly, and your comments, news headlines, your comments, and more right after this. And Sudbury weather brought to you by sudburyweather.ca. Currently it is minus 28. Feels like minus 37. Yeah, it's minus 28. Feels like minus 37. I thought we were going to be getting into some more moderate temperatures, but I guess not. I guess the cold is just sticking around, doesn't want to go away. Mix of sun and cloud today, 40% chance of flurries early this morning. High of minus 19, wind chill minus 36 this morning, minus 28 this afternoon. So yes, it will be nippy. Nippy. So make sure to dress appropriately, take the appropriate steps to keep warm, keep your vehicle from breaking down. Tonight, partly cloudy. Cloudy overnight, 40% chance of flurries. Low of minus 24, wind chill minus 29. In the evening, minus 34 overnight. Again, risk of frostbite. So, yeah, we're hoping that it's going to start getting a little more milder. But let's see the forecast here. So, yeah, tomorrow, minus 15 is your high. 40% chance of flurries. And then Saturday, it was supposed to be mainly sunny on Friday, but it's not. There's a 40% chance of flurries. But they're saying Saturday and Sunday are going to be sunny, high of minus 9, high of minus 7. So they keep pushing the sun a little further away. Maybe tomorrow I'll go back to my Monday forecast where they had like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all sun in the forecast. And then it's not like that, just like I predicted. So I'll show that maybe tomorrow. And then when we come on Monday, I'll show the forecast where they were forecasting Saturday and Sunday to be completely sunny, and then show that that wasn't true as well, because they can't keep themselves away from spraying us for some reason with chemicals that turn into clouds, and then we get precipitation. And more on that, you go to geoengineeringwatch.org, geoengineeringwatch.org. It's Dane Wymington, I believe, is his name. And he's the foremost expert on that. And you say, what? They're spraying us? Yeah. That means you don't really look up all that much and you see those lines in the sky. No, but those are just jet contrails. No, they're not. So anyways, just so you know, you got to dig a little deeper and stop listening to the CBC all the time. But that's all the time we have for the weather. We'll be back with news headlines, your comments, and more right after this. Okay, here we go. And I'm telling everyone, I'm saying you got to stop listening to CBC. I listen to CBC all the time. I just know what they're doing on CBC. Because once you know, you can't unknow what's going on in the world and in the world around you, nearby and far away. Northern Hillbilly, good morning to you. Thanks for being on. And Marianne, good morning from Chili Berry. Yes, chili everywhere. Evelyn, good morning to you. Trying to be on time today. Yes, so was I, but didn't quite work. Vin, good morning to you. Thanks for being on. It's minus 27 in Mark's Day. Wind chill probably more. And Betty, good morning to you. And it's minus 11 in St. Cat's. I'm thinking that's St. Catharines. But yeah, I'm right. It is St. Catharines. And Northern Hillbilly says, my final warning, get food, water, all tangibles, cash on hand, prepare. Banks are going to collapse. So I don't think that's the last time you're going to be saying that for some reason. And you shouldn't, because it's a good warning. They everyone's heard of the bailout, right? The bailout for banks, 2008, the bailout, the U.S. government and whatever. So banks have been bailed out. Companies have been bailed out by your taxpayers' money. But banks changed the banking regulations mid-teens in the 2015 area. Somewhere around that, you can look it up. They changed bailouts to bail in. So they have this policy called bail in. And you might say, well, that sounds weird. And it maybe does. But what it means is when you put your money in the bank, it becomes the bank's money. So just so you know, they change regulations and things. So that way, that's the wording. So know when you put your money in the bank, they look at it as you are investing in the bank because they're sneaky that way. And they do things like that. So the bail in. So you put your money in the bank. It's not your money anymore. And if you try to take out a big chunk of money, go see what happens then. They'll start questioning you. They might even say, oh, we don't have that much cash on hand in the bank. Stuff like that. So if it's more than whatever, 5,000, they'll say, oh, you mind me asking what you're going to be using the money for? And you go, none of your business. They say, well, that's rude. Are you raising your voice here? Should we be calling security? No, I'm just kidding. Or who knows? They could say that. But they're going to ask you what you're using, what you thought was your money for, but it's not your money anymore. It is an investment in the bank. So if the bank collapses, they're not insured to give you any money back because it's not your money, kind of thing. Right? So look into that yourself. Look up bail-in. Go to ChatGPT and say, what's the difference between bailout and bail-in, Canadian banking regulations? Use it to your advantage, even though we hear all the dark sides of ChatGPT. You know what? It can still teach you vast amounts of knowledge in short periods of time that will help you on your way to learning about who you are, why you're here, where you're going, all that stuff. You can still learn, and there'll be some... You have to still be careful because it's not 100% true, but it's true enough to give you enough information to know more than you know today. But still be cautious. Don't just take that. Take that at least as your beginning of learning and then continue to learn and plug in to a higher power because that's where real knowledge comes from. Regardless, I know it's a controversial thing to say, but I just know that through experience, so I got to say it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. And Evelyn, okay, let's see here. So good morning to Monique. Thanks for being on. Yeah, weather. Yeah. Hopefully the tap will be turned off soon. Roads in Barrie are terrible. Roads in Sudbury are terrible. Just driving yesterday is just terrible. Terrible roads. They don't plow the roads properly. They're cheating on the salt. Yeah, same thing here. And they're not really plowing properly. They wait till it gets, I don't know how many inches before they plow. Dangerous. Dangerous. You'd think the city with all their worries about liability and all these things, it is what it is. Whatever. I remember back in the day, they'd plow the living daylights out of the roads, salt. It was very safe to drive on our roads. Not anymore. Not anymore. And yesterday I followed a plow for an hour on the highway. The plow... Or it was a salt truck. Either way, you can't pass them. And so it's going 40 kilometers per hour for literally what would normally take a half an hour to drive going 100 and 110 on a highway. That's how long of a stretch it was. It went from 2 different districts too, so I don't know how they're able to do that. Don't plows just keep with their districts that they're in? I don't know. But anyways, that's just not good road management, like impeding traffic for, a half an hour of driving. Like, shouldn't they have to pull over every once in a while and let the traffic go by at least? Maybe every 15 minutes of driving, pull over somewhere, let the traffic go. Okay, get back on. You're going to salt in almost the same amount of time, but you're going to allow traffic. Just weird decisions. Who are making these decisions these days? I have no idea. It's either on purpose or it's incompetence. It boils down to one or the other. Okay, now we're going to have to get heading on. I apologize for those with amazing comments that we're going to miss this morning. Hazel, good morning to you. Prayer emoji, much needed, much appreciated. As I'm just seeing a few people who are just checking in here. And Larry, good morning to you, fellow Canadians. So here you go. First story of the day from your Sudbury Star and Good Morning Bingo. As we're, we have to get Belinda's positive statement of the day here. We can't go on without that. When a government has to hand out grocery rebates to help people eat, there's proof of failure, not compassion. Wow. Well said. That's exactly right. Make the conditions so people can afford their own food. Like, what's wrong with that? And obviously it's showing you're failing if you have to give handouts to most people, to 12 million of your citizens. And Homestead Trad Wife, good morning to you. Along with Dwayne, good morning. From Timmins, one of my favorite places. And so I'm seeing obviously a few people jumping on. Wanted to say good morning to you because I just don't feel right not acknowledging people that are on contributing to the show. Anyways, let's see here. You got your Chat GPT. Speaking of that, summarizing the story of the day from the Sudbury Star. I'll get that up on the screen. Headline basically the same here. Greater Sudbury's much publicized Python 5000. As you know, Sudbury is known for some of the best roads in North America. That's sarcasm. Sudbury's much anticipated or publicized Python 5000 pothole patching machine. We are the pothole capital of the world. And speaking of Timmins, Dwayne, we're both neck and neck as being the capital, but Sudbury's a little bigger, so we can take that title, I'm sure. Pothole capital of the world. Greater Sudbury's much publicized Python 5000 pothole patching machine has failed to live up to expectations and now faces an uncertain future. City staff say the all-in-one machine, once touted as a more efficient and cost-effective solution, has suffered frequent mechanical failures and has been difficult to keep operational. This almost sounds like a similarity to the city of Greater Sudbury itself in a lot of ways, touted as being Greater City of Sudbury, all these great things we got, but, at the same time, doesn't live up to expectations, costs too much, breaks down, goes bankrupt, you name it, stuff like that. Can't, solve simple problems, going to be the most in debt city in the province in a short period of time, stuff like that. But city staff say the all-in-one machine, once touted as a more efficient and cost-effective solution, has suffered frequent mechanical failures and has been difficult to keep operational. As a result, its impact on pothole repair has been minimal since it was put into service. You know what would be a great exercise? Go back to the news articles when they first got it or when they're first trying to make the case for it. It costs this much money. Don't worry, it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. And then show the city spokesperson who said it, you know what I mean? And show that now they're saying things like that. Now, is it going to be similar in the future? The plans that they're making for the future, you know what I mean? It's just going to be a big debacle. But the city is really good for that. As a result, its impact on pothole repair has been minimal since it was put into service. In 2025, the Python 5000 was used for only 15 business days. Get that again? In 2025, the Python 5000 was used only 15 business days and accounted for just 1,500 of the roughly 111,000 potholes repaired by the city. About 1.35% of the total. According to Joe Rocca, director of Linear Infrastructure Services. Repeated breakdowns and reliability issues made the machine impractical for regular use, undermining its intended purpose. Well said. Well said, Joe. But at the end of the day, what is going on? Who's responsible for buying it? Did you not know that it was going to break down all the time? Were there reports? Did you look at the reports on this machine ahead of time? Who does the research before you buy something? Purchased in 2021 for $400,000, so $500,000, with estimated annual operating costs of $200,000. The Python 5000 was expected to reduce staffing needs and improve repair quality. Instead, staff found it performed poorly in cold weather, required extensive maintenance, and was roughly 40% less cost effective than traditional manual patching crews. Even assigning a dedicated operator in 2024-25, which is more cost, failed to improve its reliability. So $400,000 to buy it, cost $200,000 a year to maintain, plus had to get a guy on it anyways who could have just been patching the potholes himself, having to pay him. So wow, that's like a Saturday Night Live skit. Okay, so what are city staff now reassessing whether the Python 5000 should remain part of the municipal fleet? They're assessing that. They need to assess it. You might see it on Kijiji pretty soon, selling it for parts. Challenges include long delays in obtaining replacement parts. They didn't look into that ahead of time. They didn't say, now, what if something broke down? How hard would it be to get a part? You know, that's a pretty simple thing to ask yourself. Challenges include long delays obtaining replacement parts, sometimes forcing local fabrication, and major component failures such as broken asphalt auger. While other municipalities continue to invest in similar technology, Sudbury is considering alternative equipment. What? Other municipalities are investing in this thing? Really? Maybe we just got a lemon. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe we just got a lemon machine. You know, you get a car once in a while and it's supposed to be good, but it just somehow happens to be dysfunctional in some ways, right? Who knows? Who knows? While other municipalities continue to invest in similar technology, Sudbury is considering alternative equipment, reallocating resources, or potentially selling the machine as it plans for the 2026 roadwork season and beyond. How about just do the roads right in the first place? Okay, I'm going to say that till the cows come home. How about when you build a road or repair a road, do it right in the first place? You wouldn't have so many potholes. You just wouldn't. And I'll get any expert, any road engineering expert to come on and back that up, regardless of what any city councillor wants to say as talking points for the city. You have to build the road right and it will just last. Okay. Weird stuff. So anyways, did you know we had 111,000 potholes? That's interesting. I don't doubt it. I guess they're keeping track. They're counting them. They should be, sizing them up too and say the average pothole is X amount in diameter and X amount deep. There's one on a road near me, boy. Woo! You hit that thing, you got to put your car in the shop because your whole front end is damaged. And they fill it, and 3 days later, it's a pothole again. And they fill it, and 3 days later, it's a pothole again. So I wonder about these 111,000 potholes, if they're, reoccurring, or they're just one-timers. Anyways, we're going to get to this because we didn't get to it yesterday. This is Megan McCabe talking about her trying to make a comment on Jamie West's Facebook post about him encouraging people to get the vaccines. And she mentions him as a liberal, but he is liberal, but he belongs to the NDP party, right? Because there's two main, thoughts, two main types of ideologies, and one is a conservative, one is a liberal. In the States, it's Republican, it's Democrat. It's liberal and conservative. That's all it is. So he is a liberal, far left liberal, part of the NDP party, but she mentions he's a liberal. So anyways, that's the only thing I have to say before she pipes in.
I will not be silenced, okay? Let's make that very clear. So the corruption runs deep when a Liberal Party member in my community blocks me for speaking the truth. So Jamie West, he's our MPP in Sudbury, and he just blocked me for spitting facts about the adverse reactions on COVID-19 vaccination when he's standing there with a sign in 2026 promoting people to still go and get this. And I know he knows full well what it's doing to people and their health and the adverse events that have been reported. Like, there is no way at this point in time that you can tell me that any leader that is pushing this agenda still and pushing these you-know-whats is not aware of the consequences and the adverse events that are being reported and occurring on a constant basis right now. Like, how do you sleep at night? Seriously, and I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to continue to talk about this. And you know what? There's actually news outlets reaching out to me right now to do interviews about this. And I haven't replied yet, and I think I'm going to, because I have a voice and I can use it. And I'm going to be speaking out in regards to this because you guys keep blocking me when I address concerns and speak on behalf of other people in our community that are afraid to speak up. This is outrageous at this point. And every time I post a comment, I'm not degrading, I'm not rude, I'm straightforward, and I come with the facts. So why are you blocking me? Is it because you're in denial and you don't want people to know what's actually happening in our community right now and the shit that's being promoted that shouldn't be even happening at this point? Like, when are we going to stop allowing this to happen as a community? And you know what else too? Wait for this one. So when I made my comment on Jamie West's posts with him holding a huge sign promoting, oh, hey, let's go get vaccinated, I started a chain reaction. So people in the community started to comment, a bunch of people too. And apparently the posts were being deleted faster than they could stay up. So thank you. I guess that I'm a threat when I speak the truth because you had to block me on social media, just like our mayor did when I reached out when I was getting terminated without cause over forced vaccination. You know, these people are corrupt. This is insane. Like, the people need to speak up about this, and they are too, and they all got blocked. And he turned off the comment section on his post so nobody could comment.
Yeah, so thanks, Megan, for that. And I know a lot of people might have already seen her. She's kind of gone viral a bit. Everybody's sharing her comments. And I really applaud those in Sudbury that are doing, more and more people in Sudbury are getting in front of their cameras and you know, saying their beefs that are going on. And then we have more and more politicians and people in, you know, positions of power and influence who are taking them off. And they are, they're just taking them off. And here's Jamie West here holding up his sign. It's a guy on there really happily putting his sleeves up with his Band-Aid on his arm. Get your flu shot and COVID-19 shot today. And then you can see down here, I'll just make this a full screen for those on the radio. Just know it's what it says. You can look up Jamie West's Facebook. A lot of you are probably his friend anyways, or friends with him on Facebook. And you can see Jamie West, NDP, limited who can comment on this post, right? And if you go to comments, there's no visible comments. So there's 55 people that he's allowed to comment, but he doesn't want anyone to see that's not friends with him, or he just sets the moderators' parameters on who can see who comments and what they said. And so I went through his whole Facebook as much as I could, and that's the only post he did that to. Everything else he's allowing people to comment. So what is that with the culture that we have today with Sudbury politicians? I thought they were all about democracy, democracy and freedom to express yourself. That's what they talk about when they go and give their speeches and stuff. That they're for the people. But when the people actually say what they actually want to say, and doesn't agree with what they believe or their agenda, they'll cancel you, or they won't return your call, or silence, or they'll silence you, fire you, do whatever they can, take your Facebook off, whatever. Complain to Meta, complain to Google. They'll do these things. It's not democracy, and that's not what we're going to be. That's not what we're going into, and you can see the politicians kind of doing that thing. So thanks to citizens of Sudbury actually, speaking up and knowing that you can, and do it respectfully. Do it the way you'd want to be treated if somebody didn't agree with you, but just continue to do it. Be like a glacier. Just continue to move forward, even though sometimes it'll take a long time. Thanks for being with us. It's all the time we got for the show today. Remember to like, share, take care. Remember to stay aware. And we'll be back same time, same place on the same platform, God willing, tomorrow with Tom Price and Bob Johnston, talking about the issues going on at Energy Court, the new arena, how the city is really pushing forward a public relations campaign to make sure that everybody goes along with it. All those things tomorrow. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU 96.7 FM. Have a great day, everyone. Ciao for now.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.